Oh gosh.
I think one of the biggest issues is whether the initiatives that the school has already put into place are working. For example, like waste conservation at the FFC or like the different types of waste to recycle around campus. I think we need to make sure that they're actually making a positive change.
Well, the one that peeves me is when people don't know how to recycle or compost, because that's just the one that's most present and so obvious. Because we're lucky enough to like have access to compost bins and recycling bins all over campus, and the ones that are labeled, but people still don't seem to take the time to either learn how to compost or recycle or to actually do it.
I think the biggest thing on campus is awareness, because coming onto campus as a freshman, we didn't really have like an orientation or anything on the different uses of like the compost bins or how to sort our trash or anything like that. And then we weren't really made aware of any of like the movements or events on campus.
I think we need more like compost bins just in general.
I think the biggest impact that I think people as a whole can make that would better the environment is, I think, it's the whole thing of like eating like less meat.
Free food. There's so much food that goes to waste because people throw it away. That sucks. They try to do a thing, but then Hopkins was like, no, we can't give food to people. What if it's contaminated? But what if it's not contaminated? Just take my food.
A lot of times in our busy days, people don't take the time to think about how food ties into sustainability and how everything that we eat has to go through a whole chain of producers and processors and distributors that have their own impact on sustainability and the environment.
If you have a lot of dining dollars, you're more inclined to buy more plastic bottles and accumulate more and maybe not reuse them.
I think there's a lot of packaging waste, like water bottles and like containers, and people should start using more reusable like coffee mugs and water bottles and compostable materials.
I was walking a dog that I was dog sitting, and the dog was like chewing on a bush, which as dogs do, and there was like, then I read like that it had been sprayed with pesticides. I kind of don't think we should be doing that on campus. Yeah. So, or at least I'd prefer that we didn't.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest sustainability issue is at Hopkins? Thank you so much.
I think we need to divest from fossil fuels.
You know how like they had the Christmas lights here? Like they were like on the entire day when like even like that's like a lot of wastage of electricity. And there are I think like some buildings that are like the lights are always on, right?
I also think that like we could probably do a better job like draining campus and stuff, and like maybe like reusing like rainwater and stuff, because I know flooding is like kind of an issue here, and we could probably like get better with that.
I think it's just that people aren't aware of what our university is actually doing in regards to sustainability. I think it's just that there's not enough open communication, and I really think that's what this coalition can accomplish, is making sure that we kind of have the ability to talk to the administration about what the students want and then make sure that that actually happens.
Ecosystems are fragile, right? And if you change one thing, then you can change like a million things, and we don't know how it's going to affect anything. So it's like the more you change, the worse it can be. And like in my mind, it's just like stop changing things. Change is bad.
Except in the case of the environment, change the environment for good.
For good, for the better.
For the better, yes.
Because it's one of the few things that impacts everyone, regardless of race, religion, political view, anything like that. I think it's an all-encompassing problem that we need to tackle as a world population and not just as activists.
Where we live, like I know, like I live in Florida. I'm from Florida, so we talk about a lot how like in 15 years, like where my house is gonna be underwater because I like live relatively like close to the coastline. I feel like the world's gonna end, but that yet we don't really seem to be making a difference, especially with our current like political climate. Because for our own survival, if anything, and also because like we're guests here on the planet, so we shouldn't trash it.
We're at that age where in like 10, 20 years we're kind of going to be like running things, and so we have to pay attention to what's happening.
Because if we don't care about it in our generation, then it's just going to be a vicious cycle where each up and coming generation doesn't have the awareness or capability to affect any change about it.
Our children will be living there, so we got to keep it clean for the next generation.
Because I mean, we only get like one planet. If we ruin it, like there's no bringing it back.